property was opened in 1996, actually. We're about to celebrate our anniversary this fall. And the concept of this, again, we talk about 243 rooms, two-story tall buildings. There are virtually no elevators here except for any areas where we want to make sure to provide, ADA accessibility. But the guest rooms themselves are all accessed through meandering pathways throughout a lushly landscaped property. And the idea is that the pathways are your hallways here. So you're not walking down a hallway. You're not in a large, kind of a U-shaped or hotel structure when you're here. The resort is set up in clusters along the beach, and each one has its own pool. Guests can use any pool that they want, but the design style there is different feelings in different places. So we have the seashell pool, which is family friendly, with a keiki pool that's 1.5 feet deep. In addition to that, there's the Beach Street pool, which is right next to our Beach Street restaurant, more of your quiet, kind of sophisticated adult pool. Then there's the Palm Grove pool, which is very quiet, serene, no service there on purpose, so people can go, get away, and almost not talk to anybody. There's the fitness pool as well, if you want to work out. Terrific spa and sports pavilion with a variety of workout options there and great on-site activities. So again, to mention what I brought up earlier about the resort, it's about the authentic Hawaiian experience. We referenced the Golden Age, and in that regard, we're talking about a time when people would save up and it would be very costly to come to Hawaii, and you'd travel for days and weeks on steamships. But then when you got here, it was paradise. Paradise found, paradise not constructed, right? And so the idea with this property is to achieve that, but in a current state, where you have, all the sophistication, where you have, Wi-Fi in the guest rooms, and you have 24-hour room service, and you can do dry cleaning, all those great things, but it still feels comfortable, feels like home. As far as specifically what's changed, we added 20 new suites, and while we didn't increase our room inventory, we converted some guest rooms into suites by the connecting of buildings. We didn't add the restaurant Beachery, but we totally redid it. We basically put it down to the ground and started over. We made a much larger restaurant. We added a lounge, that's a new component for a casual place to enjoy tapas on the deck and sangria. And also the spa. The spa internally was a great facility with terrific praise. The inside was redone, and then the new part of the spa is the outside. The addition of additional hallets, the couples halley I mentioned, and an outdoor co-ed garden. And what we find in terms of spa and relaxation is, guests would like to have the male and female option when they're relaxing in a spa, but they also want to be able to come together somewhere, and we didn't have that, so we've added that. It's quite extensive. Our focus as a company is to provide the best service possible, the best service for the guests. We have a little bit over 4 employees per guest as our ratio, so the amount of attention and the variety of services and things people can get here is, as far as we can tell, unmatched on the island. This is all meant to be offered to guests in a very warm, hospitable, comfortable way. So, luxury doesn't have to be formal, and that's our point here, is luxury, but informality. The resort itself, there's certain elements that are exclusive to members. It's a feeling of kind of an exclusive club here in a way. There are homeowners that actually live on the property in homes behind the resort, and so everything here is available to them. Guests that rent rooms, everything is available to them. And as far as guests from other properties, condo renters, residents of the island, or residents of other islands, if you come to the resort but you're not staying in a room or a home, you do also have access to all of our food and beverage outlets. In the retail shops. So I would say in terms of, kind of again opening our doors to people, we invite anybody to come and dine with us and anybody to come and enjoy our great retail shops, which have also been enhanced recently. And we've added a couple. And in terms of programming, one thing that we've started that's done really well is a wine tasting dinner. And those tend to be offered every couple of months, where we bring in a winemaker, typically from the mainland, but some international. And they come in and they'll present their wines, and we'll have a very nice dinner paired with wines, and it's educational, it's fun at the same time. So that's the main thing. And then the other thing I would mention is we do have food and beverage promotions from time to time, and we're about to run in the fall a promotion at the Beach Tree Restaurant for our local customers. So I would say the best thing is to keep an eye on the paper. We'll run the occasional ad, and keep your ears open on the radio. There'll be some radio mentions in this fall coming up as well. The two things that come to mind first, I would say, in terms of the farmers, is really relying on anything that grows here that we can incorporate in our menu. We will do that, first and foremost. The reality is that you want to put the best product on the menu for the guests, especially at this price point. But nothing beats the tomatoes, the mushrooms, the strawberries, the lettuce that can grow here. There's no reason for us to go elsewhere. Unless it's an exotic type of tomato we can't get. But we do work very closely with the farmers, and we feel it's our responsibility to maintain that relationship and to help each other out. And that's all about being a good neighbor. It all goes back to Ohana. The other thing is the coffee farmers. In the Pahuia restaurant for breakfast, we do feature local Kona coffee, and we will have several days a week, and depending on the season, a coffee farmer will be out front talking about their coffee, providing samples and tastes, and the guests could purchase a pound or have it in the restaurant or just get to know the farmer. And that's a nice way to not just say we're doing it, but engage the local vendors, as you say, and really have good close-knit relationships. And that's been well received by guests. People are surprised to come here and meet the coffee farmer for breakfast, right? Or know that most of the produce was from up the road, or the lobster is cultivated just up the coast here. Yeah. It's a shocker.
I just recently came 2 months ago to open Beach Tree Restaurant. I was recently working at 57 Restaurant in our Four Seasons New York property. I was there for a couple of years. Before that, I was with the Ritz-Carlton in Palm Beach. And at the same time in that period, I opened up my own restaurant in Uruguay, between Argentina and Brazil. One of the things that surprised me the most was the amount of produce that we grow here in the Big Island. It was very impressive. Number two, my family is half Sicilian, half Spanish, so I have a very heavy Mediterranean background. So I carry that with me. It's in my nature. So when I came here, that's kind of the idea that I wanted to have. And then putting that type of cuisine with the products that we have available here, and the knowledge that we have of what the guests are looking for once they stay here. That's how we came with the menu more or less. And lunchtime, it's much more of a fusion, where you have from a sushi roll to homemade pasta, and then at night it's a little bit more traditional homemade pastas, a little paella, braised short ribs. You see kind of those things, but that was the key to trying to embrace everything in one menu, and we're getting a great turnout. People are having a very hard time choosing, which is a great problem to have there.